This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning again, everyone. Welcome to this month's Sales and Marketing Chamber Council, sponsored by APG Local. We are lucky enough to have the marketing experts from APG Local, Ginger Intrican and Bailey Till, joining us this morning about how you can pivot your marketing strategy in these uncertain times. So with no further ado, I will officially turn it over to Bailey and Ginger. Let me take myself off of the presenter view and put Bailey as that. Okay, Bailey and Ginger, it's all yours.
Thank you. Okay, so we kind of came up with a fun little way to talk about having to pivot your business in real time, as most of us are experiencing changes daily and seeing changes daily within businesses and how they're doing business. So we wanted to talk about some unique ways to start off your business and where you can start marketing really right away in real time. So we kind of took the whole pivot term and utilized that to change that. We can go to the next slide. So when you're looking for, people are looking for businesses and how they're conducting businesses, most of the time it's where they're going to find that information out. So we're finding that most people are going to the internet to look for people, whether it be Google. But the main thing is, do you have a website? And is your site current? Is it mobile friendly? So if you look at some of the points that we've made here, and then we have other options, obviously, as we go throughout, but these are things that we're finding from businesses that they're wanting special landing pages right now. Why they're wanting those? People that are now taking payments online. Before they were maybe doing Facebook advertising and would have somebody call in and do an order. A lot of restaurants we are finding have definitely upped the game and started doing a lot of online ordering and payment online, so you can pick up. We know it's kind of unusual to be in this type of forum because we can't openly talk and people ask questions. So we do want you to put questions in the chat. Will said afterwards we're going to have a moment for you guys to open up and ask us questions. So please feel free to do so. But having a website now is very key. Having it mobile friendly is very key. We're having a little time with our slides here, so hold on one second, even though we're the digital people. So one of the questions we're also getting is, how could you be available to answer your customers' questions 24/7? People's schedules are so different right now that is one of the things that is different, but people can't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So chat bots and live chat obviously is a good way to go. You can customize those things for your business. And that way, when you are away, those chats are there and they can, I know you've seen them whenever you go to a site, do you want to talk to somebody? I'm the person that immediately exits that out. I want to do my own research. But there are people that want to ask questions and engage in a conversation with a real human being, and we have those options. And what happens is that chat is then provided to someone at the office, whether that be you, the business owner, or maybe you have someone within the office that handles sales or certain questions and things like that. It goes directly to them and they answer it as quickly as possible. So what's our next one? So where on the internet do you go search for solutions? There's so many different options. Google is definitely one that we hear often in our profession. Google. There are so many others. And I know Google recently partnered up with the chamber or did I don't know if it was a partnership, but it was actually a webinar. And I don't know if you watched that, but the chamber has been really good to put things back on the site that you can reference to. I highly recommend you reference that, because you can go into Google My Business and create your listings and verify those listings. that's free for you to do. You do not have to pay for that service. And Google wants that information to be relevant. So I highly recommend, you don't have to go back to that. You can just go to Google My Business. You can actually Google My Business, which is fun, but you just go there and it will walk you through. It's totally free for you to do, and each business should do this if you have not.
And that's where most people are really going to for answers right now, is to search, is this restaurant open? Is this business open right now? Have their hours changed? So if you haven't looked into your Google My Business, if you haven't before, now you really need to, because people are searching for those answers whether you realize it or not, and it's all in Google My Business.
And make sure your special hours are there. Make sure the way you're doing business, if you are curbside, if you are online only, if you are open, if you are dine in, or if it's, if you've got a boutique, however you're conducting business now, I would let them know. And a lot of businesses like ours are adapting new ways right now, what we're doing. Normally this would be done face to face in a large group. And this is new for us too. So we try to let our clients know that we have options to meet that make them feel safer if they are worried or have concerns.
So when it comes to listings, there's Google My Business, which is, your main listing source, but there are tons more out there. And, now with this downtime is a really good time for you to do a little bit more research about how your business is being displayed. There's, Yelp, there's Yahoo has listings, there's tons and tons out there. So we actually have a free tool that you guys, there we go. We have a free tool that you can go to, and I will put this link in the chat so you can go. It is a free scan that you can see how your listings will rank across all of listing platforms. It'll give you a score. You just need to put in, how your business is displayed with your address, phone number, and everything, the correct information, because sometimes listings will populate and you don't even realize it. You could have tons of listings out there that you don't have access to, that has wrong information on it. So it's really, really important to at least be aware of what's going on with those listings so that you can take action. I'll go ahead and pop that in the chat quick.
One thing we find with the listing scan that is so helpful is if you are an agent for a business and you are known mainly by your name, so people may search, for instance, if it's a physician and they work at, I'm going to say Southside Family Dentist, I'll use that as a reference, and then you've got Dr. Hess, there would be two separate listings. So we find a lot of times that if those are not relevant or consistent, that Google and other platforms will kind of give it a lower score because they want everything to be exactly the same as you see it, the business name, the street name, the city, the state, the zip, the phone number, how everything is listed. And if it's relevant and it's all consistent, then your scores are higher, which means your search comes up higher. So it is a very unique tool for you to utilize.
So something else that we'll talk about is, the difference between SEM and SEO. We've been talking about this ever since, COVID started coming out, and everybody started, kind of working from home and adapting. Now's a really good time for you to take advantage of getting up to date on digital marketing and really taking advantage of the courses and everything out there, and utilizing articles and really getting a good knowledge of how everything works. So we'll talk about SEM and SEO. I'm sure everybody's kind of heard of those terms before, but maybe really not sure of what the difference is. So we'll go through here. So SEM, search engine marketing. It's Google ads or Bing ads. We've all seen them before, whether you really realize it or not. As you can see right up here, here's an example of an ad. So if you're looking for Gatlinburg cabins, that's going to be the first thing that's going to come up above everything else, because people have paid for these ads. So you'll see, a little ad button right there, a little ad, little green dot there. You'll see that, and that's going to come up first because people have paid for those slots. And then SEO, it's going to be all of the articles below that. So these people have done the work. They've put in the keywords of Gatlinburg cabins and search engine optimization. You put in those keywords, you embed them into your website so that when people search for these terms, you can come up organically. And really both are important. You should care about both, because when you have a really good SEO score, when you are ranking high on Google organically, it's going to allow you to spend less money if you do decide to advertise with Google Ads. So it's going to help, your organic score, and it will allow Google to kind of work a little bit easier, and you don't have to spend so much money and get better results. This is a real report, client with good Google scores, and they've got really good conversions here. Another thing that we talk about a lot is how can you really know that your conversions were true conversions? So, a lot of times you can get a report and it'll say, oh, you had 73 conversions, but what do you really consider a conversion? A lot of businesses consider a phone call to be a conversion. In most businesses, I would say. We use call tracking. We really love the data. We love to be able to show customers, hey, the full process of, this is how many clicks you had, this is how many conversions you had, and here's the proof to back it up. I feel like every advertising company should do that, should be transparent about that. Call tracking is a really cool a way to get an inside look on, how your advertising dollars are really truly converting to real live leads.
Yes, and one other unique aspect of call tracking is the client can actually go in and listen to further verify those conversions. If you listen to a call and an appointment is scheduled, you're able to check that and know, hey, this is a real client. So we're very detailed in that, to the point of even listening to the call. So the conversions for most of our clients are reported in that sense, where the client will look and listen to calls and actually report those in. So that's how we know what the conversions is. On anything digital, it's very trackable on how many clicks, impressions, and like Bailey explained, right down to the call and even listening to it. So it's very detailed. Social media, and this is Bailey's ticket too. She's very deep into social media.
I'm sure a lot of people right now especially are focused on social media, and a lot of times too, you want to kind of focus on the things that people are using the most, which is Facebook. I know a lot of us are probably really tired of Facebook right now, but whether we like it or not, that is the main medium for social media advertising. But there are things that you can do to increase, your organic brand awareness through social media. Some things that I would suggest is like a content calendar. I know a lot of times we forget to post, life gets busy, so I would definitely recommend that you start a content calendar. And it doesn't have to be a post every single day. You can put out a couple times a week or once a week. It's just making sure that you have some relevant content coming out, just so people, think about it too though. If you go to a Facebook page for a business and they haven't posted since 2014, you're probably not going to be inclined to call that business. You're gonna want to say, oh well, they're not active. Maybe they closed. Things to think about. You want to be active on there. So that's why a content calendar is so great, because you can take some time at the beginning of the month and just make some content up. It'll be better content when you actually have the time to sit down and think about the things that you want to post about, and then you can schedule them out. You can schedule stuff out on Facebook through Facebook for free. You don't have to use any other third-party apps or anything. You can do it directly in Facebook, and it'll increase your, the feedback that you get from your clients or customers. And I'm sure everybody's seeing this a lot as well right now. So we get the question of boosted post versus Facebook ads a lot, because Facebook ads is something that we do. We manage this. I do Facebook ads here, and people say, well, I can just do boosted post. And I want to explain the difference between a boosted post and a Facebook ad. So
and this is very good, because I'm in the field and I get this question a lot, and Bailey has such a wonderful way to explain it to help people understand what the difference is.
Yeah, so you'll see, if you have a Facebook page, you've seen it before, you'll post put up a post on your page, and Facebook will say, oh, hey, this is performing 10% better. Let's put some money on it. And a really good way to explain it is Boost to post is like the tip of the iceberg. It's very thin level. So, you may just be advertising to people that are already, they've already liked your page. They already see your stuff. You'll pick a target audience of, the type of people that you want to connect with. They'll say, okay, how much money do you want to throw on this? It's really just the simplest way to advertise on Facebook, not to really extremely knock it. I mean, if you want to just get the word out really, really quick, and you don't want a lot of targeting involved, you just want to kind of throw it out there, then sure, maybe you want to do boost to post, but I really would not suggest it, because I've also described it as kind of sometimes burning money. I mean, it's just throwing it out there, and kind of, just like throwing your money there and saying, hey, get the word out, that's it. So really the difference between the boost to post and a Facebook ad is your in-depth targeting. When you create a Facebook ad, you have more placement options. So you can do carousels and you can do video ads, and not only that, but you can retarget off of those. You can use different objectives. So you can say, I want to focus more on the traffic, or I want to focus on getting conversions. So, I only want to show ads to people that are likely to convert. If you tell Facebook, hey, my conversion is somebody filling out a form, they're going to fill out a lead form, then you can take it and say, hey, Facebook ads, I really just want lead forms. So you can build a whole campaign focused on people that are more likely to convert for your business. More than likely people that have already kind of engaged in your business in some way. So that way you're not really pushing to a cold audience. And Facebook's really smart about doing those things. And those are options that you just don't have with boost to post. And the main thing that you don't have with boost to post is using a pixel. So a Facebook pixel is a piece of tracking code that you would place onto your website, and it communicates to Facebook. So if you run a traffic campaign, and this is kind of what we do a lot, is we'll run a traffic campaign, and then people that have engaged with that ad, they went to your website, but then they didn't convert. We want to retarget to these people. So we want to show the ads again and maybe change up the verbiage a little bit, use a different image that's going to, convey that, hey, we know you've looked at our website, let's kind of move towards the conversion, kind of warms up the sale a little bit more. And, this is really, like I said, the main thing that you just don't have the option to do through boost to post. It's way more targeted. You get way more data with the Facebook pixel that you would never get before with just boost to post. So like I just said, retargeting. This may be something that you guys are familiar with, retargeting. It's a pretty known term, but I'll give just kind of a brief rundown. So if you search for hotels, and retargeting is done through all different, you can do it on Facebook, you can do it through Google ads, you can do it through display. So we're looking for a hotel, and we search for a little while, but we don't look, but we go back to Facebook, and then we see an ad. So that's done through the pixel, or it can be done through a different type of retargeting code that you put onto your website. So basically, you go to the site, you leave without checking out, you're going to start seeing ads. I'm sure, you've seen it a million times, your
cart's
shopping.
empty.
Yeah, your cart's empty.
Your cart feels lonely.
Yeah, yeah, that's retargeting, because your traffic was tagged, and then they start showing ads again. This is really important to make sure that you kind of lead your customer to the conversion. These are options of advertising that are open, like I said, to Facebook, to display ads. There's multiple ways to use retargeting, and it is a really, really great method for advertising. I know that's a lot of information that I've just kind of thrown at you.
Oh, email marketing. That's another one of yours. I could have probably told them about retargeting, but.
Yeah, so email marketing, if you don't have an email list, I would definitely suggest that you start building one. You can do a pop-up on your website. You can even start building an email list within your business. And you have store traffic, or from your client list, you can start using that. And I think it's really important to send out some emails every now and then, just to keep your clients and customers aware of, especially what you're doing right now and how your business is, reacting to, everything, whether you're open, whether you're not. I know a lot of doctors and dentist office that we handle, we've sent some stuff out recently. Hey, we're open, here's our rules and regulations and what you should be doing if you're coming in for, a visit. But there's a couple things that make an effective email campaign. You want it to be personal. Nobody likes getting an email that's just really bland and doesn't feel like, is directed to you. So, there's different little things that you can do when you create an email campaign that will grab the person's first name. So it'll say, hey, Susan, this is our specials that we've got, or these are the things that we're doing now. You want it to have a responsive design. So what that means is it's not going to look really weird on their phone. You don't want to create an email campaign that's only going to work on desktop because 90% of people are going to be looking at their emails on their phone. I know I do. So you want it to look good on their phone as well as their desktop. And then, of course, you want to have a call to action. There's got to be something at the bottom there that says, hey, sign up now or call us now. Make your appointment. You want for it to be personal, look good, and then push them towards coming in or making the sale.
Very good. And I see all the time, I'll get some type of message, and when she says responsive to mobile, I agree 100% because I get very annoyed with you're constantly having to make that bigger on your phone. So
yeah, that's super annoying.
It is. So that is key. Mobile is very key at this point. And when we say responsive, that equals mobile in the digital world. So hopefully that'll be a little note that we can add in there. So geo-fencing and geo-targeting, what is the difference? This is huge because we get this a lot and most people do not understand the difference. So we love explaining this. It's very important for you to know and understand what the difference is. Although they're very, very similar, there's a key difference to this that helps. So geo-fencing and geo-targeting. When you are geo-targeting it's an actual area. You can choose Gadsden. You can choose Southside, Rainbow City, Etowah County.
Neighborhoods and zip codes.
That is a geo-targeted campaign. You are targeting a certain specific area. And what happens, and it's very cool, and you're targeted all the time. We're all geo-targeted. We're all geo-fenced. We're retargeted. And some people think it's very creepy, and I guess it could be, but it is what it is. It happens. So that's how they know the relevance to you and where you are. And if you're in this area, they want to market to you. So if you drive downtown Gadsden, you may see some ads from Rock and Roll Sushi or Blackstone or Jefferson's or King's Olive Oil or places that are local businesses downtown because you're in that area. So it says, hey, you're there. So when you go to Facebook or you're reading an article, especially right now, there's a lot of news. People are checking in on a lot of things that are going on in our world, not just here. So people are very connected and they're seeing those display ads and you have seen those many times before. Let's go on to geo-fencing. So geo-fencing is where you actually put a fence, a invisible fence around a particular business. So let's say you are a restaurant and you have some competitors that you want to geo-fence their actual locations, or you are a beautician and you want to geo-fence other locations. So what happens is you geo-fence, and it's not always your competitor. It may be something that you just have really in common with this business.
There's even event targeting. So if you wanted to target a conference center where you know that a lot of your customers would be or potential customers would be, you could just draw the fence around that place. And as soon as they enter into that fence, their device is tagged immediately. And then it kind of follows them, so that after they've been within that area, they're going to see, those ads for up to 30 days within apps or while they're searching on the web. And this is done through display ads. So this is not an option for Facebook. Geo-targeting you can do through Facebook, but geo-fencing is not, because it is very, very specific, and Facebook is very particular about their privacy laws. So, they don't like targeting people based on specific locations. But yeah, and then also the conversions. So you can tag individuals once they've gone into, say, your competitor's location. And then after, it's going to follow them with ads for 30 days, you could set up your business location as a conversion zone. So that way it gives you an accurate count of how many people saw your ad because they visited another location that you've targeted. And then as a result, they came into your business. So a physical conversion where they entered into the conversion zone.
Again, very trackable.
Yes.
And that's where people a lot of times will go, okay, that's creepy. And it does sound that way, but it's, these devices, do track everything that we say, we type, we do, we go.
Whether we like it or not.
They know that. That's why they call them smartphones.
Yeah.
Or creepy phones. So
yeah.
We'll go to the next slide. And if you have any questions, please, you can go ahead and put them in the chat.
Yep.
And we'll address them at the end. But programmatic video. Ooh, okay. This is where y'all would start telling us what it is or what you think it is, but we just have to go on. So programmatic video we're very happy that we offer this, but programmatic video, you need to know what this is because, again, it's targeted, just like all the other advertising that we've been talking about. And as a business owner, when Bailey was talking about Boost-A-Post, I have several clients that even do some Boost-A-Post every now and they'll tell me, they're like, hey, I did this. And I'm thinking, okay, I get it. It's fine. It's $25. But what is the actual return and the relevance? So with programmatic video, it again is relevant to people that have searched for things or been to certain locations. It's targeted based off of the relevance of your client, who your client is. So if you're watching one of the streaming TV commercials, or you're watching, what's an example? Roku.
Yeah, so that'll be done through OTT, CTV. With the programmatic, it's done through your behaviors, like she was saying. It's done through, where you're located, and they're going to be displayed through things like, YouTube. So, based on, and I'm sure, again, you've seen these before. This is just kind of like a peek behind the curtain of what this is. So in-stream ads, for example, you've seen them on YouTube. Let's say you were searching for, a crock pot, and then, you're watching a video, and then there comes, a commercial for it, or, a little video before you go to watch your YouTube ad. That's how it's done. And so it's more accurate than just, throwing a commercial out there or just throwing an ad out there, because, you're really being smart with your money by saying, these are people that are already searching for it. They're in the market. Let's show them ads. So that's how you would do that with in-stream ads, which is, like I said, on YouTube. Outstream, which is going to be like in the middle of an article. So if you're looking at the top 10 best crock pots, there might be, an ad there. It's going to be related to what you are selling or what your product is. And then in display ads, which, you're going to see those like YouTube example for, again, on the side there, you'll see column ads, and that's where those will populate.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, Bailey, because so many times, we see this stuff all the time, but we really don't know what it is or how it gets there. So
yeah.
I hope that a lot of you on this call are seeing that and going, oh, wow, okay, this is what that is. And this is how I can utilize it to capture more of your personal clients.
And see, here's those examples again in stream, in the middle of that crock pot article. And then you're going to see it on the side there when you're searching.
We were obviously looking at beers.
Yeah, and pizza, beer and pizza, near lunch.
Guilty. We're going to Blackstone for lunch.
And so, like Ginger had mentioned before, what is OTT and CTV? So this is kind of similar to your programmatic in the way that it is targeted, but OTT, CTV, they sound like crazy terms, but it's over-the-top television and connected TVs. So me, for example, I don't have cable TV in my house. I have Spectrum, the little thing where they have the little bot, or the Roku. I've got a Fire Stick in my house. A lot of people just don't have TV anymore. They don't have cable. And so this is really the best way, rather than just saying, oh, hey, I'm going to have a commercial spot. I'm going to pay thousands of dollars for a commercial spot. Who knows who it's really going to go to? We're just going to throw it out there, kind of like a Boost-A-Post. This is way more targeted. So you can do it addressable. You can target people in certain neighborhoods. You can do behavioral. So if you have certain keywords or context, so again, people that are searching for particular products or have certain online behaviors. So people that are interested in, say, health and fitness categories, or, they like to search for food a lot, like different things like that. You can use those targeting parameters to make sure that you are only targeting your ideal customer rather than just throwing ads out there to people that are just not relevant to your business at all. And these ads are served through Fire TV, through Roku, through tons of different, like ESPN and all these different apps. So whether people are watching
HBO Max, stuff like that.
Yes, and that's where the OTT and the CTV come in. They're targeted to over-the-top television, which is those Rokus and Fire Sticks, and then your connected TVs. So your apps on your phone and such like that. So again, this is a different way to really target your customers and not waste your spend if you want to do commercials. A good way to really put those videos out without just wasting money.
And I said HBO Max. That was just, that one just came to mind because that's one I've seen a commercial. I don't really know if that's one I see Fox News. I know like Lifetime is one. Ooh, PlayStation and Xbox. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so there's your devices and your different apps.
And there's so many more. There's gosh, I don't want to say thousands, but there's a lot.
I mean,
200, 300, 400
stuff that, and this is not super expensive. I mean, this is very budget based. So, it's not out of your price range. A lot of people think, oh, I just don't have the funds to put out a commercial, but you really do. Whether you realize it or not, you really, really do. And these are, really mainstream apps out there that people are already watching. And also it's location based as well. So, it's people in your area, super, like I said, super targeted.
And again, trackable.
Yeah,
everything is trackable. So, all right, we've got our questions and answers. So, Will, is this where you want to take back over and unmute and us go over any questions?
Yeah, I'll unmute and I'll let you guys keep the slide up there for the Q&A. So, are there any questions from the audience yet? You guys, if you have any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself if you like, or just put in the chat box. I don't see any questions on there. I'll ask a question.
We have put the link in the chat for you guys to go on and run your free listing scan to see where your business falls. So go ahead and feel free to capture that. You can run it later or you can run it now, however you want to do that.
And I'll also throw in there a link to our website. We have tons more information. We've got several blog posts that you can go and read just to kind of absorb a little bit more of this. And, like Will said earlier, he recorded this, so you can always go back and reference. But we're here live for answers if anybody has questions.
Yeah, and the recording, I'll have the recording posted later today. I put the link to the recording page in the chat too for any of you interested in checking it out later.
Perfect.
Do we have any questions at all?
It's not that early. Come on, there's questions.
It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. I know we have some questions somewhere. Let's see, Jonathan Tang. Do you guys want to read that or let me read it for you?
Yeah, okay, I saw that. So, somebody's claimed your business on Google but won't release it. What can you do? Okay. So I actually had that come up recently. Google is a pain sometimes, especially when it comes to Google My Business. So you need to go through, if at all possible, to get in there and try to verify. Because if somebody else has claimed your Google My Business listing, they can't verify it unless somehow they've gotten access to your mail. That's the way that Google wants to verify. So you can go in and claim the listing, but it will not be fully verified until they've put that postcard number in. They'll send you a postcard in the mail to your physical business location. And once you get that postcard, it'll have a code and you can put it in. If somebody else has claimed it, like I said, they wouldn't be able to verify until they got that code. You should be the only one that can get that code. So I would just keep on trying, be persistent, and try to get in and get verification.
We actually just had that happen with a physician. He was at a location for 20 years. And it was very, very tricky, but we did eventually, and it took a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So it does take some time when a prior business owner doesn't want to release that. And now Jonathan says, do we restart the verification process?
So if you are kind of like, if it's gone stagnant, then yeah, I would suggest to try to restart that process to kind of get it moving again, because if you haven't received it in the mail, they want you to restart. I would just try to get it until you get the postcard.
And one other thing a lot of people need to know that's key is you do need a Gmail address to be
Yes.
able to have a Google My Business account. I know that sounds a little tricky. Some people don't want an extra email address, but you do have to have it, and you will be happy that you had it because the way they communicate with you. I hope that answered your question, Jonathan. If you need anything, you can always give us a buzz really quick, and we can try to help in any way we can.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Well, thank y'all so much for being here this morning. We appreciate you all being on this call, and we're here for local businesses. We're 21 years old, and that's what we do. We help people in any way that we can. That's our passion. So we wish you all well. Philip had a question or a comment. Thank you so much, Philip. We appreciate that. Y'all have a wonderful day, and everyone stay safe and well.
Absolutely. And Ginger, thanks you guys at APG Local for sponsoring this year's set of the Sales and Marketing Chamber Councils. Appreciate your sponsorship and your support of the Chamber as always. If you guys have any questions or comments later on, you can feel free to email me or call our office if you have questions. Again, the recording is be posted later this afternoon. But with that being said, I will stop the recording and we'll sign off. Hang on one second.